Okay, welcome back to the Inferno Insurrection. Current situation, we are preparing to attack the town of Acheron, which will be our 4th Inferno town. We're very close to the end of this particular turn, and we have a few threats that we need to look out for. Genova is not a threat, but the big threat here is Coronius, who is Purple's strongest hero. And then as we look to the southwest, quite near to our town of Middelheim, we've got a few more threats, so just underground. We've got this blue hero, which is Valeska. She's pretty good, probably not good enough to attack us, but she might come in after Sylvia, and Sylvia has a few phoenixes and some other stuff. So that town is also kind of threatened. But I think, for the most part, we're in a pretty good position. We don't have any gold left to spend, but we are making 16,000 per turn. The reason I've tucked Sandro into that town is because I am going to send Caitlyn out temporarily. And we have 10 of every resource. I can't remember doing that. I'm not sure why I went for that exact figure. So hard to say which is more important, but we do want to start building up these towns, and I'm pretty sure Inferno, yeah, has pretty balanced resource requirements, so it doesn't really matter which one we go for. Let's just go for the sawmill, because the ore pit is more likely to be taken off us. Okay, so then we come back, we tuck ourselves back in, we go back to this town. We bring Sandro out, and we do have the option of sending him just out of the town if we want to. I'm not sure we gain much from that. I do have an idea which I'm going to probably carry out next turn, which is maybe a bit of a drastic idea, but I think probably worth doing. So all will be explained pretty soon, but for now let's end the turn. Let's see if Coronius attacks us. Oh, we have this blue hero too, who's pretty weak. Oh, okay. So, Blue just wiped themselves out, allowed Tan to go through and pick that up. They wiped themselves out, but they also wiped out the diamond golems. Okay, so that's a purple scout. This is the moment, and Coronius actually does not attack us. That was kind of the big climactic battle that I was expecting. Turns out to be a bit of an anticlimax, but okay, I'm actually fine with that. He is probably going to go through to this area. That will take him possibly across to this. I've forgotten where this one goes. I think it goes just underground. Yep, so that goes just there. That takes him pretty close to this base, which would not be good either. Okay, well, first things first, we're going to go for this. This has unfortunately been restocked, so it's not as easy as it was. It's just the goblins before. Now we've got some proper threats in there, but I think we should be fine. Okay, arrow towers go for the evil eyes, that's completely fine. So our speed situation, these guys can obviously go as far as they like. If we go straight for this, we can kill off the Ifrit. Not strong enough to kill off the Pit Fiends. I think we do just go for a mass haste, and we just try and do as much damage as we can. Okay, so next to move is these. These are maybe strong enough. I think the Ifrit are still our power stack. But we can't actually kill off the demons either. So let's go for these first, we at least have a chance. We do finish them off. Then we'll go for the demons with these. And then the rest of our units maybe can't get across, but these units should be strong enough to survive any attacks that our opponents go for. These guys can cross. We're just going to try and kill the stacks as quickly as possible. Yeah, so anyone that can actually fully kill a stack in one turn, we will just go for. So we're going to have to take one more round of shots, but that's fine. Okay, so a few more evil eyes go down. At this point, we just finish them off. That's completely fine. Where are the Magogs? There. I got confused because it looks like they're in the arrow tower. There we go. Okay, 9 evil eyes, that's completely fine. So we get this town, and we already know this town is pretty good. Can't actually recruit Ifrit Sultans, but if we do buy the castle gate, we don't actually need to get these upgraded dwellings because we can just jump between towns and upgrade like that. Order of Fire is actually pretty tempting. It's day 7 though, so we should probably try and get this. But we're quite far off. We need to find 9 mercury. That also requires us to not spend gold on anything else, which is maybe not wise. Okay. So what I want to do with Ayden is I want to keep going to the north, and I want to make a strong push towards Purple's town, in particular because his best hero is currently in our lands. Should be fairly undefended in his own lands. I'm pretty sure our main town, Firebrand, is actually safe from Simulake. He's really weak. I'm not sure why he's actually approaching us, but if we just spread out the skeletons, that should be good enough. Castle should finish them off. So I'm really trying to establish whether I can get away with not spending any resources, not spending any gold. So we've already visited the windmill here, that doesn't really help us. Yeah, not really seeing where we can get the mercury from. We could do some trading, it's probably worth doing. The problem is we are not exactly doing well for gold at this point. Well, we are, but we can find a lot of ways to spend it. So if we trade 8 of these, that should be fine. Then we trade a few more. Then we just need 5 more, so I think we do probably have to give up some of our crystals and things like that. That's probably fine. Let's just get rid of our crystals. Those aren't too important. Okay, so then we go back to this town. We're going to pick up the Forsaken Palace. That is going to give us 1 extra devil straight away, and because we did take the Forsaken Palace, we're going to get an extra devil from that as well. So in total, we're going to be growing by 3 devils in this town, and then 3 archdevils in our main town. If we do build the castle gate, we can just jump between them and upgrade. If we go for the view air, there is actually a teal hero pretty close, but I have a feeling it's in a different zone, so I might just keep going north. I would like to go for the Shackles of War, but Ayden's time is kind of too important, so we're going to go up in this direction instead. Zarfax is going to stay here as a kind of... well, we should probably take the slower units off. So the plan I had is I'm actually going to get rid of all of these unupgraded units and start relying on summoning elementals. Not long term, but just for now. I think that does make sense. I will leave the faster units on him for now, so we can keep the Ifrit. But I think if we just send him up with a few Archdevils, maybe that 1 Ifrit, I feel like he'd be completely fine. So right now he has 226 spell points. If we go for that, it is a bit of a detour, but it will take us up to nearly 600 spell points, and we do have very good casting abilities. So if we were to go for summon Water Elemental, that's plus 56 Water Elementals each round. And that frees up our units to actually go and do some other things, like for example chasing down Coronius, or going underground and trying to take out Tan's Conflux base. Haven't decided what to do with that yet, but don't think we're going to move these units or these heroes too much. Let's start bringing Axis back towards the town. He's obviously not going to make it to the Fire Lake. Let's keep Kaled quite nearby. Then Christian, we're just going to go and park on this for now. Clavius will come back to. Octavia is good where she is. She does have some Medusas we could pass over. But I think we leave her here so that she can potentially join a chain. Zarfax, with his remaining movement points, will start coming back. Although he's going to have to come back anyway. Going to have to get some units off Ayden next turn. So let's actually bring Octavia a little bit closer. Then we'll move Sandro up. Okay, that seems fine. Okay, so that's pretty much all of our gold gone. We have got 1,000 we can spend. This town is badly in need of upgrades, but none of that stuff helps us too much. We probably just hang on to the extra 1,000, that should be fine. Although going back to this town, we do need some reinforcements, so 17 extra pikemen. You never know, could be useful. I feel like this turn's been way too quick, but I think I'm just normally a bit too slow, so let's just end the turn there. I think we're fine. So here comes Blue, not a strong hero, doesn't go for an attack. So it's Sylvia, well it was Sylvia we had to worry about, but she wiped herself out. We can see Orange actually. Orange has come into that kind of treasure zone. Okay, nothing much happened there. So Orange has come into this zone, which was unexpected. Could just be a scout, because Orange is extremely weak. Yeah, like Elishar's the strongest. Strongest creature is Dendroid Soldiers. They're gonna have to push through this. I can't see it happening, so I think that's fine for now. Let's go back to Ayden. Let's take these units back. So I will have to give some units, I think. So we'll take the Wyverns. We'll take these back. And we could take the Cerberus, that should be fine. I want to take some of the dungeon creatures back, so I can give them to Clavius. Because Clavius is actually a pretty good hero, he's okay, he's not amazing. So Manticores... We should probably hang on to the Manticores, keep the Wyverns to go over the castle walls. Maybe should perhaps keep the Ifrit. I'm kind of torn on the Ifrit, they are our power stack. I think I should keep the Ifrit, even though I'd really like to upgrade them. We don't really have enough spare gold to seriously upgrade things at this point. What I will do before I forget is I'll go back to this town and we're going to go for the City Hall. Perfect time to go for it on day one, there's not really much of an opportunity cost. We do have some spare gold, so that should be fine. Could go for a castle gate or something, but I think we will probably start building up our units once again. So we can actually... We can send Fiona through. I think that probably makes sense. See how many of these we can recruit, just the one. If we were to go for Ifrit Sultans instead, we can go for all 5. Yes, that fight in the previous episode, I should acknowledge, was another pretty bad moment. I lost 4 of them, I think, if I remember correctly. I could have kept the losses down to 3. But the good thing about that is it did get us another Summon Elemental Scroll, which was actually pretty useful to us. So I could trade for some more Mercury. I'm probably safe to trade some of this. I will go for one more Archdevil. Then we'll go for a few of these. Okay, so we need to tuck someone into a town. So let's do that with Clavius for now. Okay, so we go back to this, we send Fiona through the castle gate. I do have to leave some defenders behind, let's not forget. Okay, so we go through, we go to, I think it's Ashcombe. Okay, so we take these units, we pass them up to Sandro. Yeah, I should have really checked that before I went for it. Although I think we can't actually go to Acheron. I think there needs to be a castle gate on the other side as well, if I understand that correctly. Okay, so pass these over. Then Octavia moves up. Let's move Zarfax back through for now. Ayden's going to go to this because we are going to be depending on our spells more. Then we give him a few more units. Just take some fodder. Okay, we'll go and pick this up. We'll go back to Octavia. Pass the units to Ayden, and Ayden is going to go straight to the north. There is some stuff we can open up. Do it for the XP. Could go for this too, but I'm trying to avoid detours. Really want to go straight for the town, if we can. Okay, so let's go back to this and give it a bit more defense, just in case. Yeah, so I do have quite a few heroes that are just not really doing anything. But I think we don't need too much power around here. There is some stuff we could do. We could go for the Fire Lake, for example, and I can send Axis up towards that, just for some extra Ifrit before they expire. We also have to go back to the south, probably with Sandro. Go back to the Forsaken Palace and pick up that Devil before he expires. We'll pick this up, and we'll send round... we'll send Christian round for the other one as well. Okay. Again, that seems fine. Feels very quick for a turn, but... we spent all our gold, so I guess we just carry on. Didn't see any immediate threat. Didn't actually check out what some of these heroes have though. This one is kind of coming towards us. Okay, so tan actually breaks through, which enables orange to break straight through. And purple... Okay, purple is now coming for our dungeon base, so we need to spend all our resources on building up a defense there. So this is Elishar. He is their strongest hero, but he's very weak to the point of being a scout. And then behind we have Rion, who is a much bigger threat. Could go either way. Could go for this town, or our main. But regardless of which one he picks, we should be able to use the castle gate to defend both. I'm not going to let Ayden be distracted. Let's go straight for this. This does not reveal where the town is. It does reveal a Dragon Utopia, which I could go for, but I'm going to go view air first. I think I'd rather go for the town. It's his main town. It will be reinforced, but pretty sure we can reach it next turn. Yeah, let's go up in that direction. Okay, so have to actually have a look at this. So this is Alamar, and Alamar's very strong. I don't think he can reach us this turn, but we definitely need to start building this up some more. I think maybe I go for the upgraded Griffin Tower. We do have a pretty good stack of those. I'm gonna go for it. I think we can't take any chances here. But it's not the immediate priority. The immediate priority is these two towns. Unfortunately, he could attack either one of them. We're gonna have to probably use Clavius as best we can. Can we chain any units up? We probably can if we pick up another hero. So could just pick up Gunnar or something. So the units we have available to us are 10 Medusa Queens. And that's pretty much it. It's not really worth going for. So Sandro is an important hero. I wouldn't want to lose him, but he's the obvious choice for a defender. So the gold dragons are the big threat. Let's go for some dendroids. Really excellent defenders. Then we go back across to this. We're going to go good defenders first, so I think Medusas are a good choice. We should probably get rid of these skeletons. They're going to drop our morale too much. These won't really help us either. That gives us 10k left to spend. Let's go for some Minotaur Kings. I suppose we should go for these. We'll go for a couple of Trogs, not too many. Then we can afford 2 Manticores potentially. What I should have done actually with Clavius last turn is I should have claimed the Manticore lair before the guards respawned. That was a bit of a mistake. Coranius will probably pick up a couple of Manticores from there too. This is not worth the gold. Okay, so maybe we go for Harpy Hags. Don't have to worry about retaliation with them. The problem with all this is it leaves Emerald Moor pretty undefended. Already moved Ayden. Maybe I should have gone for something like this. Can send Octavia up. Let's go for this first. Okay. Then we go back to this. Okay, so is this enough? I think 16 of these, 16 of the dendroids, would probably be fine. Let's get the dwarves too. They're a good bulky stack. Let's spread these out. And that might actually be fine. Yeah, I'm actually more worried about Lost Hold. Can we trade a bit more? I think we kind of have to. Yeah, we've got a pretty good supply of sulfur. Don't really need the ore too much. Let's just get a few more defenders. Might let these go. I can let these go and I can get a few Manticores, but no. Don't think it helps us too much. We're going to get some more Trogs. And I think that's probably fine. Okay, so we know that attackers are coming towards this base, but they're not going to get here for at least a few turns. We also have the castle gates to help defend us. Okay, Christian can go back and defend the town. Okay, so we do have Zarfax as well. I should have thought about that. Zarfax has all these units, which is probably enough to scare Coronius off altogether. I could even chain them, and I could attack Coronius using Sandro, if Sandro has enough movement points. Not quite. I could pick up another hero and just go straight for it. We would have to trade our remaining resources, but it does simplify the situation a lot. The only other thing is, it scares Coronius into retreating into his base, which means Ayden probably takes more losses. Because I'm pretty sure he would get a chance to flee. I feel like I can hold him off. Although I'm less confident about this town. Maybe not in this town. Let me check my spellcasting. I'm pretty sure it's pretty good. Yeah, so we've got 40 spell points. We can go for 10 magic arrows. 40 points of damage each. Doesn't deal with the gold dragons. Still has 3 of those at least. Let's just see what we can get if we do a bit more trading. Yeah, we're very close. It wouldn't be a big deal just to do this. Okay, so we do that, we go back to this town. We can then go for Gunnar, I think. Let's take all the best units we can. Bit worried about my morale, but I think it's probably fine. And I don't really see it as a waste that we bought all those defenders, because they are still going to be useful to us. I'm sure we're going to keep being attacked around here. Okay, so let's leave behind the Trogs. Take the Cerberus. Let's leave the Dwarves. Take the Pit Fiends. Is that enough? I'm less confident now. How far can Gunnar go? He does start with logistics, but he's not able to go far enough. I think we take our chances with the defense. Yeah. I'm going to send Sandro to the west, or to the east in fact. No, let's actually go north, let's scout this out. Okay. I know this is super messy, but we're probably fine. I think last time we didn't have anyone defending this town. This time we got Clavius. He's got 4 defense, 2 attack. He can slowly wear everything down with the exception of the gold dragons. One of the problems last time wasn't that the gold dragons were there, it was that our towers kept attacking the other units instead. But if we just wear down the other units using our spellcasting, towers will have no choice but to attack the dragons. The problem is there are 3 of them. 3 of them might be too much. So one other thing I could do is I could trade for 1 more hero. I could send them down. I could pick up some units. Pick up some units off Gunnar. I'm not sure this works. I'm going to go through to Ashcombe. I can put Caelid in there. It's so expensive, but if we lose this town and we lose Clavius, Clavius gets us money himself. And that defense is not great. So yeah, I'm going to do some more trading. It's fine. We've got a lot of marketplaces. We have a good level of income. I don't mind trading this stuff. could actually take the Manticore lair back. But I think we're fine. Actually, Clavius still has all his movement points. What am I thinking? We can just take the units. So we lose Gunnar, and we still got 2,500, which we can just save. That's fine. Okay. So we have to choose which stacks to give up. That's the only thing. We should keep the Manticores. We should take the Dendroids for sure. We should take the Medusas. Some of this stuff should just be able to join us. So we definitely want the Cerberus. So I guess Zarfax could have passed over the Evil Eyes, but... Okay. We definitely want the Devils. This is so messy. If I actually had a plan right at the start of the turn, this would have been a lot easier. We would have kept our losses down a lot. So, Devils we need to save. Less important is saving the Battle Dwarves. We want to save the Pit Fiends. We want to try and save as many Inferno units as possible. So let's forget the Evil Eyes. Doesn't matter too much. Silver Pegasi don't matter too much. Let's swap these artifacts around. And Gunnar could surrender. I could also attack with Clavius, because Clavius is better. His spellcasting skills aren't great. But that does seem more winnable. But it also seems like we'd take quite a few losses. If we just wait in the town, he shouldn't really attack us, although he could go for Emerald Moor. I'm going to attack him. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. We'll give him the chance to cast some spells. He's going for the Cerberus. He double attacks those. I didn't really think that through, although I could have petrified them if I were lucky. The Devils are still alive for now. None of this stuff can reach us or attack us, so we don't have to rush into doing anything just yet. So we don't have Bless. I do want to try and protect my Devils. So just the one more Unicorn. So the big scary stacks are the normal Unicorns and the Dendroid Soldiers. These guys are too slow, we don't have to worry about them anytime soon. I'm trying to see what I can do. Help myself against the Gold Dragons. I'm gonna have to absorb the retaliation with something. I could also pin them in place with the Dendroids, but I think the Medusa Queens might be in the way. So I can move the Medusa Queens. This does lead to additional Dendroid losses. But maybe that's okay. We can protect them to the tune of 15%. I think I'd rather just start doing some damage. Actually 70 points of damage. And start chipping away at the rest of the units. Harpy Hags perhaps. All 5 Harpy Hags per shot. Yeah, let's go for those because they're pretty fast. They're pretty annoying. Okay, so we go for this first. We will take some damage in retaliation, but they didn't really do too much to us. Yeah, 3 losses, that's not so bad. Then we are free to go for another attack. We'll get a kill. Problem is, they'll get to move before us next round. We don't want to give them too many options. I'm not going to involve the devils. So, being stuck in place, he shouldn't be able to multi-attack us. Gonna go for this. Then I'll go for this. Then we'll go for this, and there is a chance we get the kill. The chance is extremely slim. But being stuck in place, I'm pretty sure we're safe from the multi-attack. Did actually put myself in range of those, but we finished them off, so that's okay. Alright, so I think we go for the unicorns first. Slows those, that's fine. We retaliate, we kill them off. I want to try and get away from the unicorns. Yeah, so he's already casted this turn. The thing I'm worried about is if he goes for some kind of magic arrow or something against the devils, we will take a loss. We don't have cure. We could go for something like protection from water. I think he went for ice bolt against the Cerberus right at the start. Yeah, but even if he went for protection from water, I mean, we're not actually trying to stop him from getting the kill on the devils, we're just trying to get him to attack something else instead. So maybe protection from water would be good. I'm not sure how the AI thinks, but I want to try and dissuade him from going for that. Okay, so in terms of speed, these guys are going to go next, then the Minotaurs get to go, but they can't get through. So we want to just put ourselves... There's literally nowhere we can go. There's nowhere we can avoid the Harpy Hags. Unicorns will get to go. Yeah, that didn't really work. So if I were to go for top right corner, none of these units can really reach the Dendroids. So I think I just have to hope the Harpy Hags attack something else. 22 hit points. If we get attacked by the unicorns, guaranteed to take a loss. If we get attacked by these, again, pretty much guaranteed to take a loss. I'm just going to go for these. And that is the point where he flees. So that's okay. I think he goes straight back to this town, and he will have some defenders, but he's not like an amazing hero. So that's probably fine. So let's go for the Manticores next. Let's take this Manticore lair back. Should have done that before, but never mind. Okay, then we start going back towards the town, or in fact, we could start going for Tan instead. I'd be tempted by that. Then we don't unnecessarily lose any of these units, and we can forget how chaotic that was. Okay, good. 2,000 left to spend. How about we actually invest in a town instead of investing in units all the time? I am a bit worried about what's going on with all this, but there's still a few turns away. Maybe we start investing in this town some more. We do want to get the castle in this town for sure. For now, perhaps we just go Demon Gate. I'm pretty sure we already have city halls just about everywhere. Yeah, we've got one in this town. This town needs to be built up pretty quickly. We probably want to get the Citadel. We can afford to do that. Will help us defend if we do get attacked out of the blue. And that should all be fine. I can send Fiona back to this base. Do we need to do that? No, Caelid's there, so that's completely fine. Okay, let's start going to the east instead. There's some pretty useful stuff we can do. Lots of stuff to pick up. And I think Zarfax probably can too, but I'm going to go slightly to the west so we can pass these units over to Clavius. And yeah, that was chaotic, but I think we're fine. Have to worry about that really strong blue hero who's coming towards Caitlyn, but he's not going for us. Yeah, no one really threatening us. That's fine. Okay, so let's actually try and take this Rampart player out altogether. Pretty sure Coronius is back. Yep, so he's got all his units. So we're going to be relying on the elementals here, which means we're also going to be relying on ballistics, which means we will probably lose quite a few units. If I were to just go storming in, it's 1 week's worth of Rampart creatures. So probably better to do that. shouldn't rely on the elementals. So we want to go in with the mass haste. Alternative spells, we don't have too many. We've got mass slow perhaps, but that doesn't really help us take them out in fewer turns. Frost Ring does 200 points of damage, so that's actually pretty good. Do I spread out my units? I am going to risk spreading these out. I think it might be useful. Let's just go for it. So he's got his capital. Coronius, of course, because it's the same turn. No, it's not the same turn. Coronius was not re-recruited. The arrow towers are going for the Ifrit Sultans. Fortunately, the overspill damage does help protect our Ifrit Sultans somewhat, but not too much. So, 2 gold dragons. If we go for the attack with these, we don't get the kill. I think it has to be the Ifrit, so we have to go for the mass haste for sure. Then let's just go for whatever stacks we can actually kill, so we can't kill these. Can't kill these either. Yeah, that's kind of the thing about Ayden. He's still not great when it comes to just might. Very good spellcaster, but not much else. Don't have to worry about retaliation, but I think we want to actually take stacks out altogether. So, 10 Silver Pegasi versus 28 Centaur Captains. I think we go for the Silver Pegasi. Okay, so then these guys can go forward, but there's no real need. Gold Dragon does go for those. So the Gold Dragons have already moved at this point, so perhaps we go for one of these 2 stacks instead. So 4 Unicorns, 8 Dendroid Soldiers. Dendroids look like they're going to do more damage, so let's go for those. We get Morale, so we can just go for both. Although, that's more than 1 week's worth of Battle Dwarves, so I should have gone for them instead. Can go across with these. So obviously I should really go for the Centaurs, but I'm tempted to go for the Gold Dragons just because that does put me in range of the Battle Dwarves, and I don't mind losing one of these. I think I will do that. Okay, so we lose one of them. Battle Dwarves come down, they go for the Wyverns, that's fine, we kind of sacrificed them, that doesn't matter too much. I should have actually gone in and attacked the Grand Elves, but never mind. Next round we can finish them off. They're going to go for the Wyverns, so kind of sacrificing that stack, but that should be fine. These are going to go next, let's go for them. Okay, so annoyingly they survive with 1 left, but that should be fine. Let's just see how much damage we do to these. Although I could go for the Mass Bliss. It's a bit late now though. Let's just see how much we do. So it's 7 left. I think we just go for Magic Arrow. Then we finish these off. Okay, so those losses are not bad at all. And the town is very good. We can actually build Gold Dragons and things. In the town itself, they've got Blind. So I think we definitely jump in. Okay, so let's go for another View Air, because I want to know what purple has left. So there are 2 heroes to the northeast. Have to be a bit careful of those. There is the 1 hero underground, but that's pretty weak. I think what I will do is I'll bring Octavia as far up in this direction as we can, because that way what we could do is we could take the units off Ayden, and we could go into this fight with the Dragon Utopia, relying entirely on elementals. That seems like the smart thing to do. Maybe sacrifice the Wyverns too. So yeah, let's get as close as we can. Can I actually get some better fodder? I probably can. So, Zarfax... I mean... if I go into a Dragon Utopia fight with only 7 troglodytes, is that just extremely irresponsible? Maybe. Maybe it is, but I might just do it. Yeah, let's take them. Let's leave the Hellhound on Fiona. Octavia moves up with as much as she can. So we saw where the heroes are. They're pretty close, but not too close. Octavia should be safe for at least this turn. I think Ayden stays put in this town. Although he can just come out. That should be fine. I think that's probably good for our movement. We're going to go for the 2 Ifrit, and we're going to start bringing them back. So in terms of threats, this guy is not really coming for us yet. He is going to be a threat at some point, but he's not just yet. Gunnar has lots of useful units that could defend. I think Clavius going for Tan is the next obvious move. I'm going to go back to Ayden, and I'm going to cast this again, just to double check. So if we look underground, there is no Tan hero in sight. There is a blue hero pretty close. Should actually see what they have. Ayden, and he's pretty weak. Okay, so what else have they got? So the 2 purple heroes I think have to come for us, because I'm pretty sure that's purple's... yeah, that's purple's final base. So they're gonna come and attack us. But as long as Ayden can chase them down, that's fine. Orange we know is very weak. Pink and Teal are the 2 players I'm the most scared of. But nobody really coming to attack us. I should get a few more defenders in this town just to be safe. Yeah, because that's quite a bit. And this is basically nothing. So maybe we go for Pit Lords. And we could even do some demon farming. Which I've been saying I'll do the whole time, and I haven't done it at all. But now feels like a good time to get them. Although before I do, let's get some construction done. So let's go back to this town. This town is completely fine as it is, I think. Do need some defenders just in case someone comes through. For now, let's just go for 7 of these. In fact, 7 of these. Okay, then we go back to this town. Need to build something in this town. I think kennels is going to be fine. That's pretty cheap. Then in this town, we need 2 more wood. Probably just going to trade for that, I think. 2 more wood, then we go for the Demon Gate. Then what else can we do? So we know that we need to keep building up the town that Caitlyn is in. But I think just going for units is probably fine. What we can also do is actually send her out of the town. So the best units for Clavius to attack the Conflux base with. What I could actually do is I could start chaining some of the unupgraded units back to our main Inferno base. Does weaken Clavius for now, but I think long term it is something we need to do. Yeah, so let's take these back. So Dendroids, I would like to take with me. Even though they're very good defenders, I think they're just so good in melee that it makes sense. Cerberus, I guess we can take. That's probably fine. But perhaps we go for the Infernal Trogs instead. Problem is they're so much weaker, and we do need some kind of good stack to attack that town with. So yeah, I think I move in this direction, but before I do, let's relocate the Evil Eyes. So they're just there. Let's send Sandro back to pick them up. Okay, that seems fine. So Sandro goes to the west. Then Gunnar is going to go and pick some of this stuff up. Then we give all of this to Clavius. Okay, so a stack of 30 Battle Dwarves does give us a bit more speed, much stronger than Harpy Hags. Harpy Hags can actually attack over the walls, but even so, I think that's better. Okay, so Gunnar's going to move up towards this, and Clavius is going to go straight in this direction. And we still have 13k we can spend. So we want defenders in this town, but this town is okay. We've built up our Inferno bases, which is the main thing we care about. We could go for another castle gate, but it's not really urgent. So I think instead we want to worry about what we can actually defend. So this town is going to be hard to defend if someone attacks it, but we can just recruit Alema. Stick 7 imps in, that's probably fine. Bretonia is looking pretty safe. So the really threatened bases are probably our main town, which is okay for now. These guys, I mean, they're not really rushing over. I think this town is probably the one we start spending our gold on next. I'm not sure if we can actually put anyone in a town. I'm going to go explore to the east. Okay, so that's pretty much everyone out and about. I'm not going to dismiss anyone. I think we probably just leave it there. Okay, I'm going to end the turn. I'm going to see what happens. We should be able to respond to just about anything. This guy came to attack us. I didn't think he would. So we've got... Oh, I thought I had... Oh, I didn't actually recruit them. So the risk here is that I haven't actually recruited the pit lords, but I think we'll get away with it. If he had ballistics, that was a bit of a risk. Oh wow, okay. That is a problem. That's a real problem. We still need... That's a real problem. He can only do it one more time though. Let's start wiping these out. We should be fine. Yeah, because he can only do that one more time. The rest of these units can't get across. Took a big risk with the main base here, I should have been more careful. Oh crap, they can. They can get across. Of course they can. He's not even got good ballistics, so like, that's just really unlucky. Can probably wipe these out. Okay, so he goes for that. That's 10 more skeletons down. I think we just go to the corner. This was unwise. We can at least finish these off. Start doing some damage to these, and he's got no more spell points left. Okay. Go for the dwarves next. Have to be a bit careful of the Walking Dead. They are pretty fast. Of course, because he's Sir Mullick, he's actually really difficult to get away from. Can't really kite him, but he's not brought enough units. Okay, that was kind of regrettable, but okay, so this guy is actually going for Middelheim for real this time. Goes straight back, and Tan is not going for it. Orange is going into our original zone. Teal has now broken through to that place, and Teal is completely undisturbed by us, which means they could be fully powered. Yeah, Daramith. She's got a lot, and this town has no chance of defending unless we go for the castle gate, in which case we probably can. And if we go for the Dragon Utopia, we should have lots of gold to spare. If we go for View Air, we can see that purple is not really coming towards us. Does actually have 3 heroes. Not really coming for us though. No other town. I am going to go for this. I think I should take at least one properly strong stack just to be safe. So I think that's probably going to be the Wyverns. I mean, in my head, I can't think of any reason why we need the Wyverns, but I do feel a lot more secure if I bring them. That's the wrong hero. Okay, so a throng of centaur captains. I mean, perhaps we should keep the units just for now. Just for the sake of scaring these off. Oh wow, there's more than I thought. Okay, so if we go for mass slow, we should be fine. I'm not going to risk morale. Worth doing for the XP. Okay, that's fine. So we go back to Octavia. We're going to take the units back. Then we go in. We've got 555 spell points. We should be able to handle any type of Dragon Utopia. Says it's not going to go well. We should be fine. So the Wyvern's actually taking the shots quite well-ish, although maybe we don't generate the water elementals fast enough. I think we do though. So we can reach the gold dragons, we can reach the black dragons. Let's go for the gold dragons first. Don't actually want to move too far away. Let's stay kind of close. Okay, so we can go for these next. Yeah, we should be fine. So we can go for the stack of 8. I think for now we play it safe. Keep going for the weaker stacks. Problem is, by losing the Trog... Yeah, that's a problem. By losing the Trog, I think we have to flee. Yeah. So, we don't actually want to win because then we lose Ayden. So I think we have to just take out nearly all of them. Pretty sure the guards don't regenerate. If they do, I've badly misunderstood Heroes 3. I will go for one more. Yeah, I wish I had Resurrection, or even Sacrifice. Gonna wait. Forced to attack. Okay, so they should go for the weaker stack. I'm gonna go for this. They do go for the weaker stack. Was this really stupid? Have I misunderstood how the game works? Do these regenerate? Surely they don't. This is a bad time to find out. Yeah, a few red dragons. Okay. So Octavia gets all the credit, but whatever. Fine. So we have to spend 2,500 gold to get Ayden back, but that's completely fine. Lion's Shield of Courage, Vial of Lifeblood. Good stuff. Okay, so where do we want to get Ayden back? Because of course we don't have to get him back in this town. There might be somewhere else he's more useful. If we were to go and get him back in this town, pretty much guarantees its safety, which might be the best thing we can do. Yeah, because the defense here is not great. We should go for this. We should get as many defenders as possible. But I'm not sure this is enough. It probably is though. If we go for the pikemen, unless Alamar has ballistics, which is not very likely for a warlock, that's probably safe. Octavia has lots of useful artifacts that we should try and pass over, but for now that should be fine. Okay, so Clavius wants to go for this subterranean gate, which takes him closest to Tan. Fiona is going to keep exploring. I am really worried for this town. We can spend as many resources as we like, but it's hard to defend it, although Castle Gate should make it doable, and we did get the Citadel, which means we can get it. So as long as we keep... As long as multiple of these bases aren't threatened at the same time, that's probably still fine. And in fact, this feels like the best place to get Ayden back. It does create problems for Middelheim, because Middelheim might have problems defending itself, but I think if we just go for 93 of these, that's a strong enough stack. We should be strong enough here to hold off several Phoenixes. Then we go for Ayden somewhere like this instead. So first thing we do is we get him back. Maybe not in this base. I think we actually get him in Acheron, because if we recruit him in Acheron, that gives us the chance to buy these first. So this town shouldn't be threatened this turn, so we can still afford to keep building some things up. So we could try and get the castle, for example. I think we buy the castle gate now, so that we're not tempted to spend too much. Then we go back to this town, we pick up the Ifrit. No, we don't need those. Okay, so we pick up the Ifrit, we go across to our main town, although actually we still need the castle gate in this town. I didn't realise we don't have one. Of course we don't though. Okay, so we need the castle gate in this town. We get that next turn for sure. Then we jump through to this town, we pick up some more units. Then we jump through to this town, which should be safe for at least one more turn, and we should be able to hold Daramith off. Or even go and chase Daramith down. Either option should work. Anyway, it's super messy, but everything worked out with the Dragon Utopia. And everything worked out with holding on to our towns, as well as expanding. We've really done a lot of damage to purple. Purple is down to 0 towns. Orange is very weak, so both purple... Well, purple still has some gold dragons, I guess. But both purple and orange have been badly crippled. So even though most of our opponents are still alive, I'd say only about 4 of them are serious threats. But that's going to do for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, do check the playlist link in the description for any further episodes. And I'll see you next time.